could bite. The buzz of the neon sign was loud in her ears as she passed beneath it on the way toward the club. Putting her hair up in the messy on-purpose look was a good move on Laura's part. It was a sexy style for her long, blonde hair and made her feel pretty and grown up. Her eyes were alight with the night's possibilities as she neared the club. And then she saw him, leaning against the corner of the building, watching her come toward him. He smiled and waved. She shivered. Oh my God, he is so handsome. His name was Darren, and when she waved back, he came running. That first hug was a rush. The first kiss made her ache for so much more. He laughed when she suddenly turned shy, and then they walked into the club, arm in arm. 1 hour and 1 spiked drink later, Starla Davis was passed out in his arms. He made a joke about having too much fun and carried her out of the club and away from the city of her birth. When she didn't come home the next morning, John and Connie called Laura. Laura was already worried because Starla hadn't come back after her date and quickly confessed to their ruse. John and Connie went from concern to panic and called the police. The first thing the police did was confiscate Starla's computer. They found the emails, then the location of a meeting place, and found her car in the club parking lot, but no trace of Starla. The bartender vaguely remembered the guy, and a waitress remembered Starla because of the red leather miniskirt. It wasn't the kind of club that was high on security cameras, because most of the people who went there didn't necessarily want to be found. After the police found pictures of Darren on her computer, they ran them through facial recognition. Darren Edward Vale popped up in criminal records. He'd been in and out of juvenile detention since he was 12, but the files were sealed. He popped up again on police reports after he turned 18, but nothing that had put him in prison. Then, a year ago last Christmas, he was implicated in the disappearance of 4 girls from neighboring states, 2 of whom turned up dead, which connected him to a human trafficking ring. He had bonded out on the charges and disappeared. After that, he stayed 2 steps ahead of the law. That's when John and Connie Davis began to realize the possibility they may never see Starla again. Laura heard the news and collapsed in hysterics. Her worst fear had come true, and she helped make it happen. Starla woke up in the back of a moving vehicle, hands and feet bound, blindfolded, gagged, and certain she was going to die. She tried sending a mental message to her daddy, as if he could read her mind in the miles between them. Daddy, save me. Help me. Find me. Then she began praying to God. God, I'm sorry. Please save me. Please don't let me die. But neither miracle happened, and the miles rolled on. She listened to her captors talking, laughing as if completely oblivious to her presence, which made her reality that much scarier. If they didn't care what she heard, she was probably going to die. And then she heard the words sell and auction, and her heart sank. She hadn't just been kidnapped for ransom. They weren't going to try to get money out of her parents. She was the product they were going to sell. Her naivete and rash behavior had put her in the hands of human traffickers. They weren't going to kill her after all, but she might soon wish they had. The ride went on forever, and after a time she began moaning and screaming behind the gag, trying to tell them she needed to pee. But they didn't pay any attention, and they didn't stop, and she wet herself, and they kept driving. The ride ended after dark. Only then did the men in the front seat become real. She heard a door slide back and felt a breeze on her face.